Hello. 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 It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Which, I don't know. We're halfway through the week. It's so funny because it's Wednesday. Oh, it's hump day. I don't feel like I have weekends anymore. Just kind of keep going because there's always something going on, even on the weekends. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm so happy that you guys have been able to either come here during the live stream or come sometime in the future and you're watching the replay. Welcome. Just in case you don't know, my name is Yolanda and I am Locating Cozy, and this is a broad chat. So today is just another busy day and another day with a wonderful guest. I am so excited about me having guests on my YouTube channel, talking to other Black women about life. And today I'm going to be sharing the stage with Miss Sisi. Hello, Sisi.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so thankful. You know what? I just realized I'm so thankful that you came on. I had posted within the groups, and CC was like the first one to say, "I will come on. I will come talk to you. I
Of
have a
course.
lot to share," and I'm so glad because I put the word out. I was
Thanks
like,
for
I need
having
some
me.
Black moms in Spain. I need some Black parents in Spain to talk to me. And
Right.
she was like, "I got you, girl." Okay, so yes.
Yes, I got you.
So before we get started, there's always a few things I have to go through. And one is, yes, if you are here, if you're visiting, if you're stopping by to say hello, please do let yourself be known in the chat, in the live chat right now. I sure do appreciate it. Make sure also that you remember to, like and subscribe, hit that thumbs up. Let me know that you really like the content that I'm creating. Yes, and hit that notification bell so you will know whenever I have something amazing to say, either live or on the replay, or if I just want to say boo. Okay. Anyways, yes. So please do make sure that you like and subscribe. Let's see who's here so far. As usual, hello, Miss Bayesian Alpha. That is Christina. Excuse me, that is Christine. I just gave you a whole different name, girl. I'm sorry. Okay. That is Christine. She lives here in Zaragoza. She was a guest at my house for a while before she got her own place. Yes. So
Oh,
she's here in Zaragoza. And yeah, every time I see her, I'm like, we got to get together soon. We will. Yeah.
so cool.
So, yes. And then we have, oh my goodness. So Gilda is here. Gilda, I just interviewed, I just posted hers. What was that, this past Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Hi, Gilda.
Yes, we did an interview on Sunday, and I posted. Now she's watching. Hey, girl, hey. Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, this is so. Oh, I am making stuff. Why do I keep calling you Christine? I just call you Christina. You said it's Christina, really?
In Spanish.
Oh, I feel bad.
Christine.
You stayed with me for a whole 2 months, and I'm like, that's your name? Okay. Oh. Okay. Anyways, ooh, hello. Okay. So who else is on here right now? Hey, Luxury Bucket List. How you doing? Thank you for joining. Oh, we got someone new on here. Lila Jen. Hi
That's my
there.
sister.
Oh, that's your sister?
I told her
Hey,
to
girl.
Hey, sis.
She's bringing people in. Hello.
Yeah.
She says, who is this, right? Not before 10. I love her. Hey, Roslyn, how you doing, sweetie? She says, from Chicago. She says it's freezing. It's freezing in Chicago? It's just a little chilly.
We sending you some warm air from Spain.
Oh, okay. So thank you. Yeah, we're sending it over. And she's back. Okay. Okay, girl, you had me scared. I was like, you had me scared, but I was looking at Christina's name and stuff, and she's like, no, my name is Christine. I'm okay. You had me freaking out. She's like, but it's Christine in Spanish. Yes, but yeah, don't mess with me right now, girl. I was scared. And then the lights went out. No, just we had some technical issues for a hot second. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, speak this into existence. It is time for another trip to Spain. Yes. Yes, we have to
Mm-hmm.
do it here. So
Yeah.
before we get started, I have a couple of questions I like to ask. And one is, why haven't you put your phone on Do Not Disturb yet?
Let me check my phone. Make sure.
Now, yeah, everybody put your phone on mute. Okay. 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 And so one of the things I do like to ask is like, what's going on? People will say, what's going on in my world? What's going on in your world? What is going on in your world, Sisi? What you been
Well,
up to this week?
it's been an interesting week so far. We went to Portugal on Sunday, road trip,
Yes.
7-hour road trip. Um, One night we had an appointment on Monday at the consulate to finalize all of our residency documentation. So yeah,
Okay,
we
wait. You had to go to Portugal. So wait a minute. Are you getting Portugal residency in Portugal or in Spain?
in Spain, but we were living in Portugal. So wherever you were living before at the
Mhm.
time, wherever you were living at the time that you're applying for residency, that's where you have to apply. So if we were living in the
Oh,
to apply in the US, of course, right? So, but we weren't living in the US, we were living in Portugal. So I had to go back to Portugal because technically, as of last week, we were just here on a tourist visa. You're not really supposed to do it that way, but I was impatient. Couldn't. I
okay.
couldn't. So, yeah.
See, I'm always coming from the mind. Okay, wait a minute. I have an echo going on here. It's real
Okay.
time, y'all. Okay. I think it's gone. Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking, as in, whenever I hear somebody talking about getting the residency, I never think about like, oh, maybe they started just because you're American doesn't mean that you started your residency application from
Right.
America, such as
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's different. And
that's
then, like,
crazy.
when you look up all the rules of things that you have to do for the Spanish visa, it's different in every country depending on where you live. So even within the United States, like for example, if you apply in like Los Angeles versus like Washington D.C., it's different. The residency requirements. Um, I think the financial stuff is different, but the paperwork it's generally the same. But I'm gonna give you an
Okay.
example. When they gave me the list of documents that I needed, um, a lot of the stuff that they require in the US, they didn't require for the Portugal consulate. So,
Hmm.
and then I was like, okay, so when I moved to Portugal, when I had to do the process from the US, when I moved to Portugal, they told me I needed, just some documentation saying that my daughter is in my custody, um, either custody documents or a letter from the parent. And that's what that was on the list. It was very clear, right?
Hmm.
So when I went for my Spanish, there's 2 appointments. I don't know how they do it in the US, but when you do it in Portugal, there's 2 appointments. It's your initial appointment, and then you have your second finalization appointment.
Okay.
And when I went for my first appointment, they said, "Oh, do you have anything from the father saying that you have custody?" And I was like, I could have brought all that. Like I could have brought my court documents. I could have brought a
Hmm.
letter from him, but that wasn't on the list. She was like, "Well, we're just used to parents coming together." I'm like, of
It's like, what
course.
is this no nonsense about being a single parent? What?
Right, right. Like,
Are
what
you
is
traveling
this?
without a man? What?
Right. We're not used to
Lord.
that. So we need you to bring
Y'all
that
ain't
one.
brand new. Stop it. Okay.
Like, you could have put that on the list. I could have brought that in, but okay.
Yeah.
So,
So do you
yeah,
have to bring it back? I know we're jumping ahead, but I'm sorry. We're in it. We're in the thick of it now. Anyways,
right.
you have to come back?
Well, my second appointment was yesterday, so I had to come back.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they already do it that way anyway, where you have to come twice. So, she was just like, "Yeah, just bring it when you come back." So it
Oh,
wasn't a big
okay.
deal. Yeah.
Okay.
It's over,
So
thank
all
God.
is square. And now do you have to do another appointment here in Spain to finalize or to get your residency
Um,
or now you have to wait for your TIE number, NIE number, whatever. Yeah.
so we
That
have
thing.
the knee that's in the passport now, and
Okay.
she said we have to take that. And I need to research. I haven't even gotten that far yet, but we need to take that and get our TIE or TIA, whatever it's called.
Oh, the card.
Yes, we need to get the
Yeah.
residency card. We have the visa, but not the residency card yet.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So, I'm looking at because Christine. Okay, so Christine has gone through the process again. Everybody's process is different. Wait a minute. Oh,
Really.
for me, I finally got my TIE, the card, and got some hot chocolate to celebrate.
Congratulations. I got
And
my
she
new
said, "Yeah, I got my NIE with my visa as well." Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
yeah.
So the first thing is you get the NIE. That's the number.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the number. Yeah. So, and the reason
Mhm.
I sound so confused about it is because, of course, I went through my attorney directly, so he did everything. And when I had to go get when I had to go get my card, I was
Uh,
like, "You have to go to the police station to get that."
that's what she told
So
me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so, but yeah, when I had to go get my card, I thought, well, my attorney did all this. He has to do that too. And they're like, "No, girl, you got stuff you have to do." And so thank goodness my daughter had gotten on my case. She's like, Mom, you have to. So I was scrambling to get all the paperwork together the day of my appointment to go apply for my card. And
Uh-huh.
I got it all. The lady took maybe 3 of the, 15 documents that I had.
Mhm.
She was like, I'll take this and this and this, and I don't care about this other stuff. And
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
yeah, so you set the appointment to go get the card. Well, you set the appointment to apply for the card, and then you have to set
Okay.
another appointment to actually go get the card.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I
because
didn't
they
even
don't
know.
mail it to you. They might do it differently down where you are, but
Yeah.
here in Zaragoza, they're like, nah, you got to come in. You got to set an appointment to come in to even think about coming in.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Is that a big city or is it like a small is it what is like the population there in Zaragoza?
Population in Zaragoza, I think right now is at 786,000. I think,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
we're big. We're
Pretty
big time now.
yeah. And I've never heard of it. I've never
Right?
Yep.
Oh, Christine said no, they don't mail it anywhere in Spain. Okay, so no, yeah, you got to go to the police station. It's Europe, Spain, big bureaucratic process.
Mhm.
Just know that ahead of time and suck it up and yeah, it is what it is. Okay,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. And so, and yes, it's like, yeah, Zaragoza is now as far as I knew, last I knew, it was the 5th largest city in Spain. And people are
Okay.
like, again, never heard of it. What are you talking about? It's the
Wow.
5th largest. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. That is
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, I'm a city person all the way, but
Mhm.
also, I mean, I was not going to move to Zaragoza if the population was like, 25,000. That just wasn't
Right.
happening. So,
Right, right.
yeah, I made some adjustments, not that big of an adjustment.
Right. Exactly. I understand because you need your comforts, of a big city. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still, I mean, even though it's 760 or 86,000, something like that now in Zaragoza, it still doesn't compare to the size of like Barcelona or Madrid. But so,
Wow.
anyways, well, okay, well, I'm glad. So you got that taken care of, and you
Yeah.
said you drove 7 hours. What is the okay? I'm y'all know me. You know I'm jumping
Mhm.
all over the place. Don't act like if you're brand new here. That's how my format runs.
That's
Okay,
all
so
good.
you drove all the way from Malaga
Uh-huh.
to Lisbon.
Listen. Yep. Yep.
What was the drive like?
Oh, it's an easy drive. It's an easy drive. The
Really?
only problem with it
It's
is
an easy
the
7
road.
hours.
It's an easy 7 hours. The
Okay,
roads are
okay,
good. It's gas stations everywhere to get something to eat. The only problem is those tolls. The tolls are
okay.
expensive. So, I mean, I probably paid about, and I'm saying expensive. This is not compared to the US. I'm a cheapskate. I I'm not. If any New Yorkers are listening, then please excuse me.
You're gonna be like, shut up. I don't want to hear nothing come out your mouth again if you think that's expensive. What was it?
It was like, I mean, I probably paid about maybe 30 something euros in tolls one way.
One
So
way. Okay.
yeah, and then coming
Okay.
back, yeah, so about maybe 70 euros. Not
Okay.
bad, not
Cool.
bad.
Did
But
you rent a car? Did you just rent a car or you
I
have a car?
rented a car because I didn't want to put the wear and tear on my car. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
So
so I
yeah, we
just like,
surely bop it. So you have a car, you have
yeah,
your own car. Okay.
right,
But you rented a car to go drive to Lisbon and back.
right.
Is there any hilly areas in that drive? Any
Not at all.
mountainous hills? It's all flatland? What?
Nope, it's all flatland. And actually, Malaga is very mountainous on the like when you're going into Malaga, you'll see a lot of
Hmm.
mountains, but you're going through the tunnels. So you don't have to go up and down and all around and all of that. Like it's not bad at all.
Okay.
They've like opened up the
I'm having
mountains.
anxiety right now as but go ahead.
I mean,
I'm like,
once you
I'm like, talk about it. What? Go ahead.
on both sides, and then when you start getting in the Lisbon area, there's a city called Setúbal, and
Hmm.
there's a big, huge bridge. If you're afraid of bridges, there's a lot of people that's afraid of bridges, and it's one of those metal bridges. Yeah, see, this will probably
Oh, the bridge that goes from Setúbal over to Lisbon, that
Lisbon.
bridge.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, the Golden Gate Bridge of Lisbon. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So there's that, but that's like this probably the scariest thing for most people. Yeah,
Okay.
not
Interesting.
bad.
Yeah, we're gonna go back. We gotta come back to that because I'm like, I have a like let me put my notes down. I'm like about the car. But let me just go ahead and say random what's going on in my world. What's going on in my world is I have discovered, I was telling my daughter this today because I've been struggling with making sure that I'm staying on some kind of learning, practicing on learning my Spanish. And I've come to realize today, as I've known this, but Dreaming Spanish, which is the platform that I use, and again, I'm not getting any kind of kickbacks or any kind of, sponsorship or anything from this, but Dreaming Spanish is like the Sesame Street for adults of learning Spanish.
Okay.
I've come to realize this because, I mean, just looking at because they have these people that do these videos, that, like whether they're from Colombia or, Spain or Argentina or Mexico, but they have these people that do like either the easy, the super beginners, the
Right.
beginners, and they have different levels. But the scenarios that they do, it's like I might as well be singing like a patty cake song as I'm trying to learn
Oh,
Spanish with them. It's like.
is it working though?
Yes, you know what it is. I feel like I'm picking up. The thing is, I'm picking up. Like
Mhm.
I'm starting to pick up on some things, but again, when I go out and somebody speaks to me in Spanish, I'm like, what? So today, I went to the grocery store and just to get some fruit, and the lady that works there, her name is Dora, very sweet lady. And whenever I come in, she speaks English to me. And she's like, and you
Mhm.
speak Spanish to me. And so I just said, hola. And I went to go get my stuff. But she was the only cashier. So when I got up to the line, she says, now speak Spanish. I'm like, the pressure. It's like, and she, and again, it's something as simple as like, she might say, well, she'll say hello to me. How are you today? And I'm like, I'm fine. And she's like, no, in Spanish. And I'm like,
Uh,
muy bien. Jeez, the pressure. I don't know.
I know, and when somebody tells you to say it like that, it's like you kind of go blank.
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
not paying you to be my Spanish teacher. Just be nice to me. What?
She's forcing, but that's what's gonna make you learn, though.
Yes. And plus
Yeah.
she's older and everything stuff. I don't know. She might be just a little bit older than me. I'm not sure. But still, I just feel like big sister or mom is like auntie, somebody's telling me it's like, and I better listen and I better do it.
Right.
So
You better do
anyways,
it.
but all of that to
Mhm.
say that what's going on for me is me actually not looking at Dreaming Spanish or some of the other learning platforms as a chore that needs to be done. Because once I sit down and I like I give myself 30 minutes a day, and I was sitting down today, and today was finding like the 5 differences in the two
Okay.
pictures and stuff.
Okay.
And so I was telling my daughter this. So I look at the video just really fast to see if I can see the 5 differences. And then I look at the video while she's speaking in Spanish, while the person is speaking in Spanish. She got down to the last one and she kept saying, ooh, like she couldn't see it. She couldn't find it. And I'm like simply going, it's right there. It's right there. I'm stressing myself out. And then that's when I was like, this is like Sesame Street. It's like, do you see? Okay.
That's crazy how they have it set up like that. I want to check it out though.
Yeah, it is. It's very engaging. I do like it. Yeah. So that's what's going on in my world right now. I have been thoroughly, I'm getting there. I hope I'll say this summer that I'm going to be able to hold a halfway decent conversation with my granddaughter. Okay.
Oh my god. And she's bilingual, right?
Yeah, she's bilingual. Spanish is her first language, but yeah, she speaks English, but it's just so funny because like my daughter and I are the only ones that speak English to her. And so whenever she comes over and she does say something to me, like the other day, we were saying something, she just goes very clearly, what? And you say K, you're supposed to say K? Okay. Anyways, that's my world. So
I went through
the
the
other
same
question,
Yeah. I went through the same thing with my daughter. Like if I didn't teach it to her, then she won't know it. Like if she's never heard me say so sometimes when people talk to her in English and it'll be said in a way that I don't talk, then I have to rephrase it to the way that I talk so that she gets what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. But she hasn't
Learning a lot
lived
today.
in the US until she just turned 2 when we left the US. So she's
Because
just
how old is
starting.
she now? She's 5?
She's almost 5 in 2 months.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man. So the other question I was just going to go ahead and ask before we get started, we go with the flow and stuff, but tell us, please do. It's very important that we all learn from each other. And one of those ways that we learn is how to say yes to ourselves. How have you located your cozy? How are you locating your cozy?
Yeah, so self-care is like a big part of my life now. I had to learn self-care. So it's a huge part. So just today, I juiced. Like I have like a bunch of fruits and veggies I put in there, and I'm like always trying to like nourish my body. And I jumped on my trampoline. I've always loved exercising.
You
So
got a big place. You got a trampoline. Oh, you got one. Okay. I just think like big backyard trampolines, but
no, it's a only me trampoline, and I have it
okay.
on my balcony. So it's not a big place at all. But
Okay.
But I feel like I got more square feet on my balcony than I have inside of the apartment. It's so weird. It's so weird. I'm walking sideways through the kitchen. Like, I love it though, but
Yeah, but the balcony is huge. You can do
the
flips on the
balcony,
balcony walking sideways in the kitchen.
yeah. My daughter's riding her bike around the balcony. Like, I mean, it's huge. It's
Oh, wow.
yeah.
You take the good, you have to like balance it out. It's like, okay, I guess this will work. Yeah.
Right. Because it's an outdoor city anyway. So you spend
Hmm.
most of your time outdoors. So I guess that's why they did it like that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
How am I locating my cozy? First of all, yay on the juicing. I just said the other day that I got because I have been juicing my fruits and vegetables and stuff, but I had like the big bags where you strain it out, the milk bags and the mesh bags. So and that's great, but I got tired of the strain, so I just bought myself a juicer. I got it last like 2 weeks ago, and yeah, I just did a big batch of juicing that's going to last me a few days and stuff. So I understand, but how am I locating my cozy?
Mm-hmm.
Also food related, which
Okay.
really isn't nice. No, but actually I'm like the past couple of days, I've been making like huge salads as one of my friends back in the States call it. I've been making big ass salads.
Mm-hmm.
And I have embraced making my salad dressings. And so,
Mhm. Uh-oh, you froze. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
okay.
Okay,
I
you're back now.
I don't know what's going on. This is the first time. It's saying that my connection is low and I don't understand because I have a great connection.
Oh,
Hey
wow.
y'all. I I'm sorry.
It's a
This is the
little
first time
fuzzy,
ever
but
hearing. Huh?
it's a little fuzzy, but I can hear you well. Okay, you're clear now.
Okay. All right. Let's go and get on topic because I don't know what's going on. Which I'm in my same place. I'm like, anyways, I
No.
made salad dressing. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
That's what's
Okay.
up. Okay, you made your own salad dressing.
Yeah, I'm discovering not just like I'm making like variations and stuff. So like I made this orange, like I made some salad dressing with orange juice yesterday, and it was really good, like fresh oranges. So yeah.
I
Anyways,
need help with
okay.
that. So maybe you could tell me one of those. Because I know one salad dressing recipe and that's it.
So, oh yeah, Pinterest is my friend. I just be trying stuff. They can be like, well, we're gonna make it work and see what happens and stuff. But yes,
Yeah.
so that's how I'm locating my cozy.
Okay.
So
Good, good.
please do, Sisi. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. I have like all these questions, of course, but can you give us a little quick synopsis? Let's introduce Sisi. Please do share about you.
Okay. Well, I'm from the US, as y'all already know. I was born and raised in Baltimore, and I left as soon as I turned 18. And I've been traveling since I was 18. And I went to school, I went to start at university in Florida. And that's a huge thing because I didn't know anybody. So just at that early age, I learned how to um, be away from people that I don't know and be away from my comfort zone and just get out of my comfort zone. And so I've lived in multiple states throughout the US. My daughter was born in Hawaii. I was married in Hawaii, and she was born there. And I was a traveling occupational therapist. So you've probably heard of travel nurses.
Yeah.
And yeah, so physical therapists and occupational therapists also travel as well. So I was like, why not just because I love to travel so much? I was like, why not just do it as a career? And
How did you first hear about this? Like
and
this option. I mean, you said you were 18 when you left. I'm like, how did you first hear about this as an option to get get the hell out? I don't know. Who knows?
right. So yeah, my bachelor's degree had nothing to do with I was a communication major. So it had nothing to do with the healthcare field. And when I graduated from um with my bachelor's, it was like, you remember 07, 08 when the economy crashed?
No,
That's
nobody
when I
remembers that.
that's when I graduated. Wonderful
Okay.
time to graduate, right?
Got you. Got you.
So I ended up in something that didn't have anything to do with my major. And my stepdad was like, you need to go back to school and get your master's degree. And it was like, at the time, I had really bad carpal tunnel syndrome in both wrists. So everybody always told me you would be a good lawyer because I argue like I used to, not anymore. When I was younger, I used to argue like I'm gonna get my point across and I'm gonna win. So everybody was always telling me you would be a great lawyer, but at that time I was, my whole upper extremities were like severe pain. I was like only at the time I was only like 27, 28, and I need my hands. So I was going to an occupational therapist and a physical therapist. A lot of people don't know the difference. So I'll just go ahead and explain. But OTs usually focus on the upper extremities. And when you're in a rehab setting, um, fine motor skills and lower extremities with the physical therapy. And occupational therapists do so much more than that, but that's just like I worked in rehab. So when I decided to go to OT school because I was working with OT because of my carpal tunnel that I had. And I was like, I really love this. You're helping people every day get better and you're helping me get my life back. I want to do this. Right.
Oh, wow.
So I'm in school and right before I'm graduating, I'm hearing about, oh yeah, you can, after about a year of working, you can, travel and go to different sites. There's places that need therapists desperately, and you do little 3-month rotations. And I said, oh, that sounds like me, because at the time I hated commitment and I just wanted to just see new places, and I was single and didn't have any kids, and but my certification and license was only in the US. So I went as far as I could, and that was Hawaii. So yeah, that's how I heard about occupational travel and OT. Yeah.
Okay. So you left home, because when you said I've been gone since I was 18, you meant that you left home to go to college when you were 18 and then you just kept going. Okay.
Exactly.
I thought
Yeah.
you had left the country, when as soon as you turned 18.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Okay. I wish I could have.
Understand now.
Yeah.
So you have been everywhere. I mean, so you were in just want to make sure. Okay, so you were in Hawaii for a while, and then you said you came back to the US and then you went to Mexico?
Yes.
Okay.
So I said when I moved to Hawaii, I said I would never come back to mainland US.
Okay.
But at the time I was getting separated from my ex-husband, my baby was really just a baby. She was like 3 months old. So it was a rushed decision. And I said, let me just go to the US and figure things out. And I was there for about a year and a half. And yeah, it was excruciating. But my daughter, good thing though, my daughter did get to know her family at that time.
Okay. So what part of Hawaii were you in?
I started off in Oahu, just outside of Honolulu. I lived about maybe I was traveling around Oahu. But yeah, I started off on Oahu, which is like the most populated island because that's where Honolulu is.
That's the big island, right?
No, the big island. No, it's the most populated.
I've been to Hawaii one time and I act like I know all about it. I've been one time for a week. That was it. Anyways,
where did you go? Where did you go?
Honolulu. Yeah.
Okay.
Honolulu.
That's where everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the most populated, most touristy island. So that's where most people go when they go. Yeah. And then after that, I took a travel assignment to Big Island. But when I went to Big Island, it's a lot less populated. And I thought I would like it. I was in Kona. They have the Kona side is 2 sides. There's nothing in the middle. But I was in Kona and it's super sunny, super hot, and super dry. But there is like no grass. There's lava everywhere. And it was like being on the moon. And yeah, it was different. I didn't like it.
How long were you there?
I was there for, I would say about 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, I took another assignment. I took a permanent position in Maui. And Maui is my favorite. Maui has my heart. Okay. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous island. It's not too populated. I actually lived about maybe like a 20-minute walk from Oprah's compound.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Y'all hang out? Y'all like,
no.
Girl, what's that?
I used to walk past her horses. Huh? I used to walk past her horses.
Okay.
He
So you were
owns
tight with the horses, not with Oprah. Okay.
right, exactly. She has the whole street. Like the whole street is hers, but there's a few people that would not sell their
Hmm.
homes. So there's like her whole block. It's not private, but there's a few houses that are just randomly on what would be which would have been her property, but they wouldn't sell. I don't blame them.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we just walk up that street. It's a great exercise because I mean it's a Maui has a lot of hills. So you just going up there.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be my mission.
Yeah.
I don't like, I don't like Lisbon like that because the hills. I was like, oh,
Right.
wait to visit. I want to stay there more than a few days. Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so
Uh,
you were, man, I mean, you got around Hawaii. That's awesome. Okay.
yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you came back to the States for a while and then you went to Mexico. And so did your job take you, your job opportunities came with that, or was that something on your own?
That was on my own. That was on my own. I did not have because my license and my certification is only in the US.
Hmm.
And I didn't even get to the point where the type of visas that I get are the non-working visas.
Okay.
And they go based on either your savings or your income. And so it's kind of like a retirement visa. Some of them
The
call it.
sabbatical, it was just sabbatical time.
Right, right.
Oh, she's
Exactly,
on
exactly.
sabbatical.
Right,
So
right.
when was this that you went to Mexico? How long ago was that?
We went there in 2022. So that was
Okay.
just so April 2022. Yeah. So almost 3 years ago.
Okay. So what parts
Yeah.
of Mexico did you travel through or stay in? Just
We
one
lived
place.
in
Okay.
we lived in La Paz, and La Paz is
Oh,
like,
okay. On the
you know La
peninsula.
Paz? Yes. Yep.
Yeah, me and La Paz go way back. Not.
For real?
So no, that was supposed to be where my first pet sit in Mexico was supposed to be, and then it ended up changing, and I ended up finding a different pet sit that worked better, which was in Puerto Vallarta. But that's where my first. So I had never heard of La Paz until I got the pet sit, and then I started doing the research, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So you were in
Yeah.
La Paz.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place to live. Great for children. I recommend it, except if you like to travel outside, there was a lot of things going on outside of La Paz. So there's like this peaceful, La Paz means the peace, right? In
Hmm.
Spanish. And it's like this peaceful city. Nothing really goes on in there. But once you go outside, there's kidnappings and stuff. And so I like to take road trips. And I had a lot of friends that I made who were Mexican, and they were like, Cece, I wouldn't be, because I would be taking like bus trips and stuff across, like I would take bus trips across Mexico, like I've been to Merida. But let me rewind back a little bit. I kind of lived in Cabo for a while.
Okay.
Um, when I was in 2016, going back and forth from Colorado to Cabo. So
Hmm.
I knew people in Cabo, and La Paz is so close that I
Okay.
felt comfortable going to La Paz, but I didn't feel comfortable raising a child in Cabo because it's so much drugs and it's a party city, you know.
Okay.
But La Paz is so laid back and yeah, it's great for families. But
So how long were you in La Paz?
we were there for about a year.
A year.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So, so you said that you liked it. La Paz was very low key. I guess for the best, low key is what I'm taking as. It's not touristy.
Yeah,
It's just nice. It's. I heard it
right.
was like kind of like a also. Well, maybe I'm making something up. Like a fishing town or something like that. Or
Yeah, it used to be. It
okay.
used to be a fishing town, yeah. But it's growing a lot. There's once you get off of it's the Spanish word for boardwalk is what they call it, the Malecon.
Oh yeah.
The
Yes.
Malecon. Yeah. Once you get off the Malecon, you're not really gonna see any tourists. So yeah, we were the only Americans in our apartment complex. She
Oh,
was the only American in her school. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
All
Well, the
my
reason
friends.
why I'm looking surprised about that is because and maybe it was just a different part of the peninsula, but they were saying basically how, like the peninsula, like kind of when you go down to the lower part, they were kind of like, that's where the white people, that's where a lot of the expats, the white Americans are at.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. There's this a little small town. Um, it's not in the city of La Paz, but it's right outside, probably about like 20 minutes outside. And they've made it's a bunch of older white Americans and Canadians. I mean, full of them, and it's so expensive to live there. And I was looking at a house there, just like, let me see what this is about, right? Because they got some luxury houses they building, and it looks really nice. And at the time, this was before COVID, right? So the prices
Hmm.
were cheaper, and it was like 200,000 US dollars for a house in Mexico. Really?
Okay.
What?
There's
Before
a
COVID?
place that's on the other side because when I was in Puerto Vallarta for the month and I went to, oh my God, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like it's on the other side of the little God, I can't think of it. It's like just like an hour away from Puerto Vallarta that we went to this little town. And I can't think of it right now. It's on the tip of my tongue and it's gonna drive me crazy. Anyways,
Uh,
but basically it's like all these hippies from like the 70s, late 60s, early 70s kind of settled there. And so it's very
Cellulita?
like, huh?
Is it called Cellulita?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I know my
You knew.
Mexico. I know Mexico.
Yeah.
I know
That's
exactly.
exactly what. So it was beautiful there and stuff. But yeah, it's like where all the hippies, like people from California, wherever and stuff, that came and they were like, we're not going back to the U.S. and they stayed there and kind of took over that little area.
Yeah.
So it's very. I don't think that it's well, they said it's getting more expensive now, but up until like maybe 2 years ago, it still was like the one of the best kept little secrets about Mexico. Like it hadn't been like
Mhm.
fully colonized yet. I hate
Yeah.
for lack of better words. Okay.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah.
yeah, yes, Sayulita.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just went there for a day trip with a young lady that lives in Puerto Vallarta, and we had a great time. But yeah, you could see like maybe some of the locals are like, oh hell, now
Here
they
they
know
come.
about us. Okay.
That's how I wanted to go there. I wanted to go there, but
Yeah.
if it was just me, I would have gone there probably to live. But
Yeah. Actually, Aileen was asking if I was talking about Ajijic. Ajijic? Yeah, I've never
oh
been
yeah,
there. It's So
yeah, I've
before
heard
you
of it.
headed over to Portugal, because I know your next stop was basically Portugal. So any other places that you really liked or that you had a nice time when you were visiting or staying in Mexico?
Oh my goodness, Playa del Carmen has been my heart since like 2014,
Hmm.
but it changed a lot. And I mean, it changed a lot from 2014 to even 2016. It's so different. And I went for I think my first anniversary, which was like 2019.
Hmm.
And I was so disappointed. I was like, I don't like it here no more. But it's so it doesn't feel. I like the feel of authentic Mexico, which
Hmm.
Playa del Carmen was still a touristy town back then, but you still had some authenticity. Like people actually were still kind. And the thing I love most about Mexico is the people, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But I love the people. But when it gets to the point where all they want is money, it's just like money, 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 money. And it's just, they just keep coming at you for your money. And
Yeah.
it's, I
Well, they're
can't
like,
even,
well, if they're coming, we're gonna capitalize on it. Yes.
right?
So they're like, they're coming. Y'all get ready to make some money. Let's charge
uh,
them, yeah, let's charge them $300 for a hotel here in our little town. Yeah. Okay. They're
right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to charge me $30 for a taxi ride 3 blocks down the road? If that's
Hmm.
not, and I pulled up the taxi rates that it's supposed to be. He was like, "Oh no, that's only for Mexicans." I was like,
Oh yeah, you got gringo. Okay. They're like, we don't care how much you like us. You got
"We gonna
gringo.
walk. We gonna walk." ain't how it was. It changed so
Yeah,
much.
I get it. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, and I love
So,
Bacalar. Sorry.
wait a minute,
I love
where's that?
it's a town called Bacalar.
I've never heard of that.
It's I'm trying to think of how to describe to you where it is. Okay, so you know where Belize is, right?
No, girl.
So,
Okay.
so okay,
Oh.
just south of Mexico, there's Belize, right? It's
Oh,
on a border.
Belize. Okay, Belize. I thought, okay, yeah. I know where Belize is. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay.
I thought you were
Yeah,
saying something else. I'm like,
okay.
no.
It's probably my Baltimore accent. It comes out sometimes.
It's fine.
um, just south, the very border of Belize and Mexico, there's a small town called Bacalar. And the
Okay.
water, they have this limestone in the water. The water is like see-through. It's not even blue. It's like bath water before you get in it. It
Oh,
is so
wow.
gorgeous. Yeah. And the people are so kind and yeah. It's not super touristy yet, but
Yeah, they haven't been hit yet.
right.
That's been hit hard yet. It's coming.
Right.
But
It's
yeah,
going.
not yet.
Yeah.
So, in your decision to go or come to Portugal,
Yeah.
what was it that attracted you? Did you just start hearing about it? How did you come to know and hear about Portugal and make that decision to try it out?
So I was trying to just be practical and just find the safest areas because me being by myself with this little girl, I want to find the safest country that has a culture different than the US, right? So I was doing a lot of research and I found a lot of YouTubers, Black YouTubers, that were like, hey, we're here. It's wonderful. Um, I didn't have time because my lease was ending. I said, look, I'm just going to just throw caution to the wind. You know how you're supposed to visit first to see if you like it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that because everybody was saying how great it was. So I didn't visit first. And Lisbon, Lisbon was Lisbon is nice, it's cool and all, but it's way too expensive. It got hit. It got hit with a lot of foreigners coming there, and the prices are so expensive that the locals can't afford to live there. And they feel a way about us.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to deal with those high prices and that attitude toward us. So I moved 1 hour north of
Okay.
Lisbon in a town called Peniche, right?
Paniche. Okay.
Yeah. And it's this little surfer village. And it was like everybody has left Portugal. Well, in this part, all the young people have left
Mm-hmm.
because the cost of living is so high. And they go to once they finish high school, they go off to other countries to get
Mm-hmm.
more money. I've heard a statistic. Somebody told me, actually, my real estate agent, because I was looking for a house at one point, he told me like around 50% of the young people leave, the working class leave um, to go work somewhere else. So, and he was from Portugal because,
So, and that seems to be like what's happening all around
mhm,
any small town anywhere.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but and it's unfortunate because I've seen that even in like small town USA. Like the smaller towns where I'm from. It's like people, the younger kids, the younger people don't just stay in the small town. Usually, they want to get up and move, and it's even
right,
more pronounced when you have because like in small town USA, you don't have like a bunch of um, um, immigrants or expats coming in saying, "I want to live here."
right,
No,
right, right,
no, but in small town Europe, yes, people do tend to want to come, and they're like, yes, I will consider this area, this lightly populated area to live in and have some peace or whatever. But that's not usually how it goes with communities in or populations of small towns in the U.S.
right, exactly, exactly.
So, how did you hear about this town?
Um, it was so random because there's another town which I planned on moving to called Caldesderania. And it doesn't sound like how it looks on paper, but it's Caldasdarainha, right? Caldesderania. Have you heard
I've
of
heard
it?
of that. I've heard this. Yeah, but again, you look at it and you try to say it out loud. Like a lot of the words in Portuguese, you say it like how you think it sounds, and they're like, that's not
Right.
it.
It don't
No.
sound nothing like how it looks. it don't,
Wow.
it's so hard. Portuguese is so hard. So that's where I was planning on moving to because I had done all my research and it's an expat, they call it expat town. So we are like there. There's a lot of Americans there, there's a lot of families there, and that's where I plan to move.
Mhm.
But we were moving there in the summer. Like, no, sorry, I did my scouting trip. Like literally I stayed there for a week to do my scouting trip.
Mhm.
And it wasn't enough time. And it was in the summer. So, in the summer, that's when all of the Europeans travel, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's in South in Portugal. So there was no place to rent like long term for us um,
Okay.
in that city. And I was like, this is where I plan. So I had already started the residency process. So I found the closest possible place to that city that I liked. And it was in, I know, I ain't know nothing about this place. I could have just, because when you have a small child, it's like, okay, they got to go to school and you can't just stay in an Airbnb until you find something.
Yeah.
You got to just, I signed it. Oh, and with the residency process in Portugal, you have to sign a 1-year lease in order to get approved for that residency. That's what got me. That's what messed me up because
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
I've seen. I mean, when I've gone to go visit in Lisbon a couple of times, especially, well, I've the one time that I visited since I got my residency here, but I just remember talking to all these women within our community that was like, yeah, so I got to find this place, and I was like, just the stress. I was stressed just hearing about what they're going through and how hard it's been to find good lodging or a good apartment or someplace that they could work with the landlord to say, hey, I need a lease.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of old places that are not renovated that
Hmm.
people don't have like we do in the US, central AC and central heating and insulation.
Hmm.
If I tell you about my experience, we could go on all night. Like it was bad. It was really bad. Like, but the
So,
place it looked modern.
so the place that you did find in that town, what's the name of that town again? The
Paniche. Paniche.
Peniche? Peniche.
Peniche, but it doesn't. Paniche. Yeah.
Okay. See, that sounds just how it's, yeah, Peniche. Okay. And then you're
Yeah.
like, no. But so you found a place there, but
Hmm.
it was like something that you like, what, just found on the fly just to get in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then, and I
But it,
signed a 1-year lease.
and it looked okay. But did you do a walkthrough
I did a
beforehand?
walkthrough. It looked good because I did the walkthrough in the summer. But when November
Mm.
hit, they have a rainy season. Well, I shouldn't even say it's a rainy. If you're anywhere above Lisbon, it's just a rainy country. It's just rainy and moldy. And I've even heard about the mold in Lisbon. It's pretty bad. So it's just a very humid. I mean, humidity is like 100%. It's just every day.
Oh,
So there's a lot of things I had to throw out because of the mold, even just in my closet.
wow.
Yeah, I rented a place
I
that was,
okay. This is hearing like the other side of things. My
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Okay.
People don't talk about this stuff. And I'm like, y'all talk about all the good stuff, but the
Keeping it
reality is,
real. We're keeping it
yeah,
real.
right. You gotta keep it real. Like, yeah, I mean,
Um,
everybody has a different experience, but the mold is ridiculous. And the place that I lived in, there was no heating and no AC, but there was a fireplace That thing didn't work.
Okay.
I mean, that didn't work. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, so it must not get that cold here that you actually need central heat. No, it's warmer outside. It's warmer outside.
Yes. Okay, I am still scarred. I am literally still emotionally scarred from when I did a pet sit back in December. And I
Uh-huh.
literally was sitting in their house because she's like, oh, wait, I have a space heater. That space heater was doing crap. I'm
Right.
just freezing. And finally, when I went outside, because I had to take the dogs outside for work, I'm like, I'm really sweating outside. I was freaking freezing. They didn't have no radiators. I didn't, yeah, it's something that as a seasoned pet sitter, seasoned traveling pet sitter, I did not think to ask these something as simple as that. Like, hey,
Right.
because
Right.
she's like, oh, no big deal. So you just have the space heater. It's fine. I'm like, okay.
They're used
I'll
to it.
freeze my ass off.
They're
Okay.
used to
Yeah.
it.
Anyways, so
We're
you
not.
were there and so you were there, and I want to go back because I know that you're talking about, and we're going to get to Spain. And let me just ask you right now, because this might go a little bit longer because I still want to talk to you. Do you have a set time that you have to
Oh,
get
I'm
off?
good. I can talk. I'm good. She's
Okay,
sleeping.
good. Okay. I'm not gonna keep you forever, but I feel like this is gonna go a little bit longer.
That's cool.
So you're there, you move in. Was it furnished?
It was completely furnished. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Um, when did you first find out about the possible mildew issues in the place?
November, early November. Like as soon as it started raining.
Okay.
And it just rains. And I mean, like, you might have one sunny day or two sunny days in the entire month. It's like the way this they call it apartment, but the way this place was set up, you come in on the first floor. Let me just start by saying I thought I was good because it was connected to a real estate agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the most popular real estate agencies in that little town, right?
Yeah.
So their signs are everywhere. So I'm like, I'm good. If anything go wrong, I can just let them know.
They
Mm-mm.
got me.
They got
They
they,
fixed it up. Yeah.
right. Mm-mm. No. So they all friendly and stuff at first, and then so they're in the front office. And when my entry is on the side, it's a completely different entrance. You got a little yard, and I was like, okay, cool. It's kind of like kind of like in America. It's hard to find yards in Europe, like with grass and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, right? So you go in, there's a foyer. The second floor was my bedroom and the living area, kitchen combined. And then there was another steps going up to like a loft area, which was my daughter's room. There was no doors between the loft area, the steps. So there was no separation at all from the bottom floor. The only doors was my bedroom and the bathroom. So when you try to put the space heater on to warm up the space, it's like all three floors that it has to cover. So
Wow.
her room wasn't getting warmed up. So now I got her in my bedroom. So I still have her clothes in her room. There's no closets, by the way, so everything was out in the open. I got these little clothing racks and stuff because
Yeah.
it was like a loft area, but they called it a bedroom. But
I'm
I
sorry, the
accepted.
luxury bucket list is losing her mind right now. She is absolutely like, holy I'm
I wish I could see the comments,
okay.
but
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you can see. Okay. She's losing it right now. Anyways, I'm sorry.
that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So there's no closet. So everything's out in the open. And I start seeing little mold specks. And I'm like, okay. Huh. And then next thing you know, and I'm like, what is that on the wall 2 weeks later? And I mean, her whole ceiling is covered in mold.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, like, and I'm like, oh my God. So she's in my bedroom. We're staying in the bedroom. We got a 1-year lease now. Thanks, Portugal requirements, Portugal residency requirements. And I can't get out of the lease because you got to stay there for at least 3 months. We moved there in early September. So and they have 1 month's rent up front for your deposit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to suck it up and get to summertime. But we started getting sick. And I was like, oh no, we gotta get out of here. I don't care. I don't even care no more. So I started looking for another place and we found another place and then we started moving out and I took pictures of everything. Thank God I did because they weren't trying to give me my deposit back. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to get a lawyer and I got the majority of it back. But I wrote a bad review about them. And
Oh,
she was like, I'm not gonna give you your deposit back. Oh, let me rewind a little bit. I tried to address the situation by telling them to get me, we need a mini split, right? You know what a mini split, they had those. Yeah, so for people who
that thing
don't
right
know.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
thing right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That will resolve everything. Just get us a couple mini splits. I was like, you know, I'll stay. Just get us a mini split. She was like, the owners, we can't do that, but we'll get somebody to come in and clean out the mold. So, I mean, by then this is like December. We ain't even get to January, February yet. So I said, we can't do this. We were sick, like coughing all the time.
Yeah.
We got sensitive. We sensitive, so we feel it. So I was like, we
It's
gotta
not
get
like
out.
they knew.
Yeah, they
They
knew.
knew.
This is
When
not
you
the
came in,
first.
before you even came in, they knew. Okay.
Exactly, exactly. And she never sent anybody to come clean out the mold or anything. And so at that point, I was just done, and I had a lot going on. So I moved out first. I found a brand new apartment that was nicer. It was better. It was central. They had mini splits. So we were fine on the climate thing. Still
Okay.
had a little bit of mold growing around the window sills, but he kind of told me, but it wasn't like covering the ceiling and stuff like that. So yeah. And
So,
then
if you don't mind, and you can say none of your business stuff. How much was the rent there versus the new place
oh yeah, so the rent in the first place was 1,200 euros a month, and the new
for a two
place was
bedroom?
for 2 bedrooms. And the
Okay.
second one wasn't even really a bedroom because it was no door, right? It was
Yeah.
just a loft, right?
Yeah.
So they called it a bedroom. They advertised it as a bedroom. And then we moved to another 2 bedroom that was like brand new. I mean, it was probably built like a year and a half. No, I'm sorry. That place was finished in 2019, so maybe 4 years old.
Okay.
And we moved in there, and the Wi-Fi and cable was included, and that one was only 950 a month. So
Wow.
yeah, much better. And it had a pool.
Oh,
So
okay.
yep.
Okay. So you
Yep.
moved into to a place that really felt like, okay, all right, they're gonna this is better. And you did end up getting an attorney to help you get all that resolved
Right.
with the previous landlord. Okay.
Mhm.
And so you said now your daughter was in like I guess the pre because I know here in Spain they start
Right.
school or pre-K at like 3 years old. So your daughter was like in their version of pre-K at the school there in
Yeah.
Peniche?
Yeah, they call it so in Portugal they have ages 3 to 5. Her school, they group them all together. 3, 4, and 5, all in one class. So if you're turning 5 at the beginning of the school year, you're in a classroom with 3-year-olds. So yeah,
Oh wow.
it works out. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then after that, they go to primary school, which is like, first grade. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what was like we now I'm just going to we had some conversations, so I've already been shocked and awed completely by some
Right.
of the stuff that I was like, girl, I can't wait to have you on. So tell us about what it was like. And I know that, again, she's still in, I guess what I call still the pre-K era at that time. But what was the school system that, as far as what you experienced for your young toddler at that time in Portugal, in Peniche?
So it was cool. I liked it better than the situation now. There was it's a small school because it was inside of a small village, and there was 2 classes. There's not even an office. There's 2 classrooms, and There's 2 main teachers, one for each classroom. One classroom had 25 kids. My daughter's classroom had 20 kids. And the reason that room had 20 kids is because there were 2 special needs kids in that class.
Okay.
So they got the other class with the 25 kids, they got 1 assistant. And my daughter's class was supposed to have 2 assistants. They had 2 assistants most of the time, because one extra one for the special needs kids. But people kept going on like, oh, I'm sick for like extended periods of time. And so they would pull away that assistant to work in like the another area, like the we call it the lunchroom area.
Okay.
Because they have lunch for, oh my goodness, the hours are crazy. They have lunch for 2 hours.
They get a 2 hour lunch.
They get a 2 hour lunch break. The siestas are insane.
I mean, but damn, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know about this. I appreciate some good siestas, but
right.
I didn't realize that. You're like, okay, kids, it's time for everyone to take a break. So I'll see you back. 3-year-olds, I'll see you back in 2 hours.
Right. The teacher goes home because I talked to her. She goes home and she chills and she, eats and does whatever and hangs out, texts me. She texts me sometimes like, hey, what's going on? Because we friends.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know that there's going to be some teachers in other countries. The U.S. going to be like, the teacher goes home for her lunch break?
Yes. The teachers go home.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, it was the experience for your daughter, because she was speaking Portuguese. There was like the language in that town in school was Portuguese. That was it, or was there some English?
Just Portuguese, nothing else. It was, and she was the only foreigner. Matter of fact, I will say that I shouldn't say that she was the only foreigner. She had 2 friends. They were one was born in Portugal, but they had parents that were foreigners.
Oh, okay.
So, and the other one was born in the UK. So one parent was from France and one parent was from the UK, but they speak English at home.
Okay.
So
is this the Portuguese?
Yeah, this was in Portugal.
Okay, because I know you told me the story about that. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So it's always people from the UK moving to these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They coming from everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
US expats or US Americans ain't got it on lock as far as coming to Portugal. They coming from everywhere.
Okay. Right. They coming from.
Yes. Get ready.
Exactly.
So as far as the community though, in Peniche, once you got a good apartment, you kind of found your footing there and kind of just embraced the city for a while, or were you like immediately, even after getting the apartment, you were like, I got to get the hell up out of here?
I gotta go. I knew by month 3. I knew by month 3 that we were gonna be leaving. I knew. I knew it wasn't for us. It was, if you are not from there, and I've talked to people that have learned the language fluently and they're still not accepted because they're not from there. Mm-hmm. So, like I said,
But you felt that more because it was a small town. Maybe like somebody, like if you're living in Lisbon or like someplace like that, you might feel more welcome than what you felt in that small town. And I don't mean to put words in your mouth. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I think Lisbon is a different vibe. Like when I go to Lisbon, it's people are definitely more like welcoming, and it's not like, where does this person come from? Why is she here? Because I look like a foreigner, obviously. Yeah. So you can tell. I mean, and everybody, even in Lisbon, everybody assumes that I'm African or Brazilian. They don't. And I say I'm from the United States. They're like, there's Black people in the US. Like that's the kind of mentality. Like they're so closed-minded because it's such a small country that they're not, a lot of Black people haven't moved there yet. So they're still like surprised to see Black people from the US. Like there's black people from the U.S. Yes. Yes.
That are able to leave the U.S. It's like, because it's like,
Right.
the thing is, not everywhere, but especially like if you don't have like as many black people coming in, like, you know, in Madrid and Barcelona and stuff, you know, even like their stuff, they're thinking that you're from somewhere from Africa until you actually speak. And then they're like, huh. But sometimes in the European countries, they still have a thought process that is like what they see in the movies. So you can't afford to come here, because what I
Right.
saw in the movie said that y'all were broke and still in a gang from the 90s.
Right.
Okay. They still watching
Exactly.
what was that movie that was big in, oh god, I can't think of it. I just saw it the other day. Anyways, whatever 90 gangster movie and stuff, they still living in that thought process
Boys in
sometimes.
the Hood and all of that.
Thank you. Yes, Boys in the Hood. It's like, no, girl.
Mhm. That's not reality now. That's not reality. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I'm like, haven't y'all heard of Obama? Like, seriously. Like, if you didn't hear of anybody, you should have heard of Obama. Come on.
I think that in some they might equate that as to an anomaly, like, oh, he ain't like the rest of them, like in
Right.
somewhere in their minds and stuff. And again,
Mhm.
I'm here. I don't give it, I don't care. It's like I'm breaking whatever the glass ceiling thought process that you might have. And
Mhm.
that's why I want to talk to more black women that live here in Spain, black people that live here in Spain,
Yeah.
to understand what their process has been living here, or what the journey was for them to come here in the first place. Your journey came via Mexico and Portugal before you came to
Right.
Spain.
Right.
So
Right.
you said that you knew that you were ready to get up out of Portugal. You were ready to get up out of Peniche. You're like,
Mhm.
that's just is not for you.
Mhm.
What brought Malaga into your sight? Like when you were like, oh, I
Yeah.
think.
So I was looking at Spain because it's so close. You just drive right across, and I already had a car, so I didn't want to go through moving stuff overseas again. So I said, if anything doesn't work, I'm gonna try Spain, right? If Portugal doesn't work, I'm gonna try Spain, right? So I was looking at like the islands, like Tenerife and all those, and
Mhm.
because I wanted a warm area. I don't like cold. I hate the cold. I hate the cold passionately. So then I was just seeing like all of these drunk, it's a party. Those like Tenerife is like a party. It's a lot of partying going on.
Where's Tenerife? I've never heard of this.
It's an island. It's kind of like the Hawaii of Spain.
It's like
It's
Mallorca area, or no?
no, that one's
New York is the other side.
also east. So Tenerife is more like off the coast of uh the country that's just below me. Starts with an M. Oh my God, I'm having a blank moment right now. Off
You
the
and me
African,
both, girl.
off the African coast.
Oh, okay.
Morocco.
Oh, okay, got you.
Like it's just off the
That
coast of
M
Morocco.
place, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's off the coast of Morocco. So it's a few islands that are grouped together, but it's very
Okay.
touristy, and I didn't want to deal with it was some healthcare issues going on in Hawaii from just being on a small island.
Mhm.
And I wanted to be on the mainland. So I found out that Malaga is very warm throughout the year. So I said, let me check it out. And
Okay.
I loved it. So here I am. Yeah.
So, two questions. One, okay, first before I forget, one is about the car. Where'd you get your car from? How'd that happen? Did you get a car in Portugal?
I got it in
Okay. I was like,
Portugal.
did you
Yeah.
have one shipped? Okay.
Yeah. I rented a car for 2 months before I bought one, though.
Okay. How much?
Yeah.
So I remember Krishan was telling us, I had shared about the experience with renting a car. What
Uh-huh.
was that? What did that look like as far as renting a car, cost, and all that? Like, what was that
Oh,
process like?
oh, it's easy. It's so much cheaper than you would pay in the US. Like, I went to autoeurope.com. I don't have no
Mhm.
affiliations, but yeah, I went to autoeurope.com, and you put in how long you want to have it just like any other process. And I think I paid it probably would have been cheaper for me to rent a car long term because I just did 1 month increments. It was like €7 a day. It's so cheap.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think at
wow.
one point it was like €3 a day. But how they make their money is they try to scare you into getting that insurance plan.
Right.
Yeah, which is even more than the actual car rental cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm good. I know how to drive in Europe. I'm good. I don't need that. I'm gonna use my credit card, so we'll use their insurance. So
There you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
yeah. I think I was paying like 150 a month for renting a car. Yeah, yeah. It's so cheap. I should have kept doing it, but
So then because now, when you bought the car, did you buy the car flat out, or did you have it financed through your own loan, or how did that work?
I bought it flat out. Yeah,
Okay.
I just used my savings and bought it like that. And I don't even I don't even know if I had the option to. I don't think that they would allow me to get a loan because I didn't have
Yeah,
any
I don't
credit
think
yet
so either.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I like to ask because you never know. Somebody
Yeah.
might be like, "Yeah, we finance." It's like, I didn't know you can do that. No, I didn't think that you could, but I thought I'd ask anyways. Okay.
If I would have, I would. If I could have, I would. Yeah.
So, I mean, you said that you wish you would have kept renting and stuff. Has there been a downside to buying a car here, or buying a car in
No,
Portugal?
just the normal stuff. You got to do maintenance and stuff like that. That's the only thing. Just getting your
And
maintenance
parking. I don't know
done.
how because parking can be a beast trying to find parking.
Oh my God, yes. And my car is white, so they've scraped. People that have parallel parked have scraped my car getting into their parking spots.
Yep.
And I told my agent, not my real estate agent, my insurance agent, and I was like, "Can y'all handle this?" And he was like, "It's gonna be more to pay your deductible than it would be to have it repainted on your own." He
Yeah.
was just like, "You need to get some cameras in your car." So yeah, it's just parking is a beast. So whenever I go somewhere, even here in Spain, I'll find a parking garage in the area, and that's where it's annoying. It's very annoying.
Yeah. It's so funny because here in my apartment right now, most apartments, flats that you get comes with a parking space. And so I was like, well, what about parking space? She's like, well, no, actually because her brother lives in the building. She's like, so he has the parking space. And I'm like, now I don't have a car. But I was
Uh,
like, if my child, my family comes over, stuff, I want them to be able to park because it is a beast whenever, they come to visit or come to drop off my granddaughter. I'm going to have her for a little while. They like sometimes they can find parking. Sometimes they just gotta get out. And my son-in-law circles the corner or circles the block a few times,
mhm,
okay,
mhm,
until she comes back down because you can't find
mhm.
parking. It can
That's
be a beast. So yeah, when I do move, I'm looking to move in another apartment in the same city, but I do want to
mhm.
find one that actually offers like a parking space so that when my daughter, when they do come over, I don't have to worry about them trying to park 5 blocks down or trying to find a parking
Yeah,
spot on the street right in front. So yeah.
yeah. That's a huge thing that they don't have to. The U.S. we got parking lots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
Hold on one
sometimes I
second.
get you. Huh?
I'm sorry. I just got a notification. My battery. I got to get my charger. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well,
My
we're gonna keep talking about
battery.
you go get your charger. Go do that. We're gonna go
Okay.
ahead and answer some questions here. Okay. So I'm just gonna go through here and look at some of the questions or some of the comments that have already been posted on here. Let's see. Well, I'm going to put this up for her later on. So, because Pie Management was asking, so in Portugal, it's the law to have a 2 bedroom because of a toddler? I don't think that's any kind of law because people be living in close proximities.
No, no, they don't care
Yeah,
about that. You can have a studio with 5 people living in it. They don't care.
yeah. She just happened to get a 2 bedroom. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted my own space.
Hold on. And then,
Uh-oh.
what's up? You still here?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Aileen was asking, does
What's,
Malaga have the mold issue being near the coast? Yeah, that
that's a
could.
good question. No, I haven't had any
Oh, does
mold issues
Malaga? I'm
here.
speaking Portugal. Okay. Anyways, go ahead. Answer the question like I know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no. And I'm actually, I can see the ocean. Like I'm right across the street from the ocean, and there's no mold issues. The humidity is good here. So
Okay.
yeah. And this is like the rainiest time, which it only rains like, like once every 2 weeks or so. Um, but it's a drier climate. Yeah.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
not a big issue being there. So you made your way over and stuff. And thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring this up. People are loving you, girl. Yeah, they love what you got to say. She says, I'm loving this conversation. You guys are moving Spain up my list. I was sold on Portugal until Sisi warned us about the mold.
Sorry, y'all. It's a
Well,
moldy
you know,
place.
this is why you have to do your own due diligence because I mean there are a lot of people that are moving, especially as far as the Black community, that are definitely moving to Portugal, and they have found
Mhm.
some great places, whether it's like Porto, and I forgot there's a whole, where's that one town the one lady moved to? It's like a university town. Oh, God, I can't remember the
Oh,
name of it right.
it's in the center. It's in the center of the
Yes,
country. I
yes.
think it's called Lyria. Is that it?
I
Lyria?
don't think that's it. I can't remember. I can't remember. If I hear it, I'll be like, that's it. But anyways,
Okay.
so there are a lot of options, just like there's a lot of people that are moving to Panama or Mexico or Portugal.
Mhm.
Spain is a great option. You just have to know and realize what suits, what's going to work best for you.
Right.
Yes, I hope that you guys are greatly entertained and gaining some great information by watching, my interviews and like, this wonderful interview right now, but you have to do your own research and don't be just like, well,
Yeah.
Cece said, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't do
That's true.
that.
That's
Get your
true.
information and then get some more information. Okay.
Yeah.
And then find out
Yeah.
for yourself what works. And I love the fact that you're a single mother. You went to Mexico, you went to Portugal, and now you're in Spain. And you're a single mother because the other big thing I want to make sure people understand is if it does not suit your needs, you can leave. You can
Exactly.
move.
Exactly.
You
And
can go
don't
on
feel
to your
guilty
next
about it
option.
either. Yep.
Huh?
Yes, and don't feel guilty about it either. You go.
For what?
Bye.
Yeah. So she
Bye.
tried it out. She was like, okay, baby, well, now we're going on to the next place. They're okay. Baby's
Right.
fine. Okay.
Right. She's good.
So as long as your child knows that she's loved and has the security of you, it doesn't have to be that, oh, I'm gonna stay in this moldy place for the next year because we have to. No, you don't.
Right. Right.
Okay.
No, not
In the
at
same,
all.
sweetie.
Right. Yep. Mental and physical health are important.
Yes. So did you find any community? Did you like seek out community before arriving in Malaga, to see like what's what, you know, some people be
Yeah.
like, where the sisters at, or where the expat communities are at, or did you just hit the ground running blind?
Um, I tried. I looked for some. So I joined a group. That's where I actually encountered your message. The Black Women in Malaga group.
Hmm.
So that's a great community. I haven't been able to attend any of their events yet, unfortunately. I just got here in December.
Yeah,
Um, so
wonderful group of women. Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some of their events. But it seems like a great community. I love it. Um, I tried to find some mom groups here, but I have not found any, which is insane to me because that's how I found most of my friends in Mexico is like a mom group. Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing. I do, because I was just talking to, was it Hilda? Yeah, and also I
Okay.
was talking to Danny, and the group itself may not exist. It doesn't mean that the community to build is not there. So I'm sure there are other mothers in the group that are probably waiting on like, well, when they gonna build the group? when you gonna invite me out to lunch? Just be like, I'm gonna be here at this playground or this, little restaurant, cafe or whatever on this day. Would love for some moms to come. Post it in the group and see who shows up. It might just be you
Right.
and one other mother.
Right.
But it starts somewhere. It has to start
Yeah.
somewhere. So yeah, I always say that instead of waiting for somebody to invite you to do something or to create the group, create the opportunity.
That's a great idea. I love that. I'm definitely gonna do that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Yes. I'm gonna do that because yeah, I haven't. I've been looking, but I need to
Mhm.
create that myself. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, then there's and from there it just grows. It just grows. So whatever your interest is, whether you like to want to sit down and you want to start a book club or whatever it is, initiate the conversation and go from there.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I have met. I'm starting some relationships with some of my church women.
Okay.
It's an international church, so there is people from all over the world, and I mean all races. I mean, half of us are Black, but I'm the only Black American.
Okay.
So right now, the
You know what?
most.
I needed to, and I wanted to, because I started the Black and Zaragoza Facebook group. But overall, a lot of times I see in those groups about, in those specific community groups about where to get your hair products, who knows how to braid hair. I hardly ever see like where your church is at. I don't go to church. I don't do that. But I would like to have that information available for the people that do come and they are
Yeah.
trying to find a church home. So like my guest that's here right now, she's found a church home that is it's a pretty mixed group. I think she's the
Okay.
only Black American that's there, and she was inviting Bayesian Alpha to go with her one day to go to her church. I think they're just trying to find their own community, their church community that brings them comfort. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I hardly ever see that where they're
Yeah.
like, here's the church that I go to. So I'm gonna just put that information, like maybe I'll do a little post in the Black and Zaragoza that just says like, hey, if you have a church home that you found to be very loving and non-judgmental, okay, in your community, that like allow them to maybe post there to share,
Mhm.
what as a resource. And
That's
so when
good.
I do build up my entire, I guess, list of resources, a church home can be one of those items. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you were saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you said it and I
Yeah.
started
That's
thinking.
that's great because people can build a community that way. It's really
Yes.
good to have like their brothers and sisters in Christ and all of that. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know anybody here.
Okay.
So yeah. So if there's anybody watching in Malaga, my church is called C3 Mosaic. And
Okay.
how did I
Bayesian
find
Alpha
my
was saying, how did you find this church?
That's a good question. There's a Facebook group called uh, Christians in Malaga, and yeah,
That says
Christians.
it all.
Right, exactly. Christians in Malaga, and somebody was posting that they were looking for a church that spoke English, and my pastor. It's a really small church, but my pastor posted, and I was like, let me check that out. It was a few of them, but I went to that one first, and I liked it the best. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, good. Yeah,
yeah.
Bayesian Alpha is very dedicated also. I'm fitting to tell you a business. She is dedicated to going to church, so much so because we have a tram that goes through the city. It goes from one side to the other. So she has access to the tram. She does not like getting on the tram because sometimes it's so crowded. So she will literally walk all the way on the other side of the river to her church and walk back.
Wow,
Like that's
I know that's
dedication, girl.
right. Yes, I know that's right. How long is the walk?
It ain't short. Okay.
You get your exercise and your Jesus on.
Yeah. I'm like, girl, you don't Uber? What? Okay. Probably don't mind if you Uber. Okay. I
Oh,
admire her dedication because that ain't me. So
that's
when
what's
she
up.
told us that one time, she's like, I've yet to take the tram? Because yeah, there's been times when there's certain events going on, or depending on where the stop is, over an hour. I usually just walk back. Oh, I Uber there and walk back. Okay, still, yeah. See,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like,
See.
oh, such a wonderful day. I'm gonna walk it. An hour? No,
You
that's
love
her jam. I'm so
outdoors.
proud of you,
Yeah.
girl.
That's not
Might
your
as well.
lane.
So tell me, I know we jumped around, but that's okay.
That's
Um,
okay.
tell me about by yourself. I mean, I know that you said just like you've tried, you want to find community. How is it helping your daughter get settled and finding her community?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, that's a really good question. So, when we were in Portugal, you mean here or just in general?
In general, but let's in general, I want to say, but then also like to focus in on Spain and Malaga, where you're at now.
So we haven't, outside of her school friends here, we haven't
Okay. Yeah.
had a community for her outside of, the kids ministry. She plays and plays with them, and
Okay.
she loves it. And but we haven't. We have a little playground at the end of our block, so we go there and she'll play with the kids there. But I live in a very local town, so there's not really any English. Well, Malaga in general is it's a lot of Americans, a lot of people from the UK, but I live like 20 minutes outside the city, and
Mhm.
I'm not on the now. If you're 20 minutes outside of the east side of Malaga, it's even more touristy than actual Malaga itself. But I'm 20 minutes. I said that wrong. The east side is where I am. Hold on. My God. The west
Girl, you
side
got time.
is,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm on the east side. I'm on the east side. And it's more just Spaniards where I am. But
Okay.
20 minutes west is so it's where everybody goes for vacation and stuff like that. So
All right.
yeah.
And so,
So it's where I live is mostly just Spanish people. Yeah, so
you find it. But the thing is, it's like, because you sound kind of like, iffy stuff, but also from what you said is you've definitely found what you feel like is supposed to be home for a while.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah, and you just got there. So I'm asking her questions and we're talking about the whole experience, but she literally just moved to Malaga in
Yeah.
December. And
Right,
so
right. Yeah.
still in transition. I've been here almost a year now. I'm still in transition. Okay.
Right, right. And then we ran into Christmas, and
Yeah.
everything is all about Christmas time and holidays and stuff. So, yeah, yeah.
When was the
But
last time you went back home to the States?
we haven't been there since 2023. So
Okay.
it's been about a year. So September 2023, and
Okay.
I don't look forward to going back. I don't. Anybody says we miss you, come on over and visit. Come on over, cause I don't miss
Yeah.
it at all.
That's it. I miss, I have my family. They know I love them. We thank goodness for the technology era that
Yeah.
we do live in where we can talk. I'm so thankful that all three of my daughters were here together. We were all,
Hmm.
in September, August, September. I'm so thankful for that. Um,
Hmm.
but I was supposed to be going back to the States for a couple of weeks in this summer, like in June. And I'm like, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah. No. No.
it's like, y'all know I love you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you're still in transition. Your daughter is more fluent in Portuguese than Spanish right now. So it's
Yeah.
still the adjusting with her finding community and school.
Yeah.
I'm
She's.
almost scared to bring this up, but I know I said I wanted to talk about this. Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
So your daughter's in school.
Yeah.
She's actually connected with two little girls that they speak English also, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
and they were bonding and everything was good. But then some things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Please do share.
Yeah, so there was another little girl who was jealous of the relationship because they were like a little clique. And my daughter is talking to those little girls in English. My daughter speaks Spanish, but she was still uncomfortable with speaking it because they're so fluent, and she's like getting back into it because it's been like a year and a half since we were in Mexico. So she's just getting back into it. So she wasn't really feeling comfortable speaking Spanish yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this little girl was jealous, and that was her mom's words that she was jealous. But she was coming home. I had her hair all cornrowed up with the beads on it, and she came home. If my sister is still watching, she gonna be like, "Why you ain't tell me this?" Because I didn't want you to go off, sister. I didn't want you to go off.
Sis,
Yeah,
I was
but
getting my feelings for this, and I just met your sister, so yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
so she came home one day, and I'm like, "Where are your beads?" Most of her beads were gone, and they were like in random places. And I'm like, "Where are your beads?" She's like, "Oh, they came out. Didn't really make sense." And I said, just kept questioning her, "Where are your beads?" And she said to me, "Oh, well, Lola, no, oh, I'm not gonna say the little girl name. I ain't gonna put out on Front Street."
Yeah.
But she said the little girl, she took them out. I said, "Was she being nice, or did they come out by mistake?" She said, "Oh, she was being nice." Okay, that was on a Friday. The next Monday, I did her hair again, right? She comes home with a cup.
This is her sister, y'all, just FYI.
This is my sister.
Cece's sister.
My blood sister. I'm sorry
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't tell you because I knew you was gonna get upset. I knew you was gonna get upset. But yeah, she comes back home on Monday, and it was like the Borettes gone. Where your Borettes? And she was like making up excuses. I know when she lying, right? She's just telling me stuff that didn't make sense. I said, "That don't make sense. What happened?" You know, you got to get that deep voice on them and get in their face. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
And so she said, well, such and such took them out. I said, "And where are they? Why did she take them out? And where are they?" She said, "She broke them." I said, "What? She took them out and she broke them." And she said, "Yeah," and she pushed me. I said, "Did you tell the teacher?" "No." "Why didn't you tell the teacher?" "I don't know." I said, "Okay." So immediately we have a WhatsApp group. All the parents have a WhatsApp group. So immediately I reach out to the mom of the little girl, and I write her this message, and I told her what's going on, and this is not the first time, right? And she touched her, and I said, "This needs to be taken care of because I don't want this to be." I'm hot, right? But I'm trying to be professional at this point. But I'm hot, like I could feel my face getting hot because I've never had to teach my daughter how to stand up for herself ever, and never being targeted. And mind you, she is the only Black kid, the only brown kid, even. Like, there's everybody is European. So I said, I'm like, is this racial? Is this because, she speaks English? Like, what is going on? So I reached out to the mom. We're writing back and forth. The mom says to me, I'm asking my daughter what happened. And she said, "I know." She said, "It's hard because they're only 4, and I'm just trying to get the full story." I said, "Okay, go ahead and you respond." When she came back a few minutes later, the little girl came on a voice note saying, "I'm sorry," to my daughter in Spanish and stuff. And she said, she was very apologetic, but she said, what's going on is that those other 2 little girls were her friends. And now your daughter is there talking to her friend and not talking to her. and she feels left out, so she's getting jealous. And she was like, you need to let the teacher know so she can look at it because we're not there. And if it happens again, then you need to go to the director, which is the principal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, um,
This is what the
trying to come up.
mom said. The mom had said, like,
Yeah,
can you do this and stuff to make sure since the parents are not there. Okay,
right.
okay.
And then I reached out to the teacher and I let her know what was going on, and I let her know it had been handled, but she needs to watch out. She said, okay, I'll talk to the little girl as well, and make sure. She's like, I'm gonna, just be aware to make sure nothing like this happens again. And I said, okay. Now, at this point, I'm thinking about taking my daughter out to school because when I signed her up, it's the local school, it's a public school. At this point, I'm thinking about taking her out because when we were in Portugal, she's even in Mexico, she's always had a teacher assistant. Regardless of how many kids, it's always been at least 2 adults in the classroom. But this school has a teacher for 19 kids, and there is
The
there
ratio is completely off.
hmm,
The ratio is completely off.
right. There's an assistant, but she's covering 6 classrooms, so she's only in each classroom for 20 minutes a day, which makes no sense. So you got one older lady teacher, nothing wrong with older people teaching, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And because at this young age, I feel like they need at least 2 adults with that many kids.
It's yeah. And the thing is, at what age, I don't, we've all had to deal with this. At what age is it where your child is getting some harsh lesson about life and you're protective because she doesn't speak the language? That's your
Mm-hmm.
baby. It's your baby. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't speak the language. And,
Right.
and then these, they don't know how to verbalize the other little girl didn't know how to verbalize her anxiety about like, this little girl just like come and took my friends. What's
Right.
going on?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm so glad at least that that there was that communication. Now, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the ratio of student teacher in that small town,
Right.
in that town, or in that suburb of Malaga. But I know that's so hard, and I know because I told you about what happened with my granddaughter the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So again, this is just part of the growing pains of looking at your, just wanting your child or your grandchild to just, not have to suffer any little mean kids.
Right.
I had my granddaughter the other weekend, and we
Mm-hmm.
went to the park.
Mm-hmm.
And she got on one of the swings and she was swinging back and forth. And I was like pushing her lightly. And these 2 little actually it was 3 little Spanish boys. There was one other open swing. And so one of the boys came over and got on the swing. And then this other little Spanish boy that was with them came over and he was saying something to her in Spanish. And I didn't know, but he was standing there saying something to her. And then she got off the swing and walked away. And the little Spanish boy got on the swing. And
Mm-hmm.
I And the thing was, there was a father that was standing against the rail, and
Mm-hmm.
now my face that I'm making right now, what the hell? I didn't do all that. I wasn't
Right.
ready to
Right.
box the kid. Relax,
Right.
okay? But in
Mm-hmm.
my mind, I was like, my baby, my grandchild just got off the swing so the little boy could get on, and then she went over to the kiddie swing, and so there was
Mm-hmm.
a father that was not, with the kids. He had his own child, he was
Mm-hmm.
looking like I peeped just what just happened. Now I'm the only one that's speaking English. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at my granddaughter and I had just whispered in her ear. I was like, why did you get out? I was like, you don't have to get out just because he asked you to. So you can say no. Because my granddaughter right now is the only child and she says no to the adults all the time. She's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. One
Right.
Christmas, she looked at me, her dad, her mom, and said, no, no, no. So I know that you want to say no.
Yes, yes. She got it in her. But they don't,
Yes.
that's how my daughter is. She got it in her to say no, but not with the
Mhm.
kids. Stand up for yourself. Who gives
Exactly.
ears? Yeah.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
I just whispered in her ear. I mean, I didn't chastise or anything like that, but I just let her know. It's like you were on that swing you were still on that swing. You didn't have to get out. You could have said
Right.
no,
Mhm.
and just made him wait and everything. Instead, but she's like, okay. And I
Mhm.
pushed her on the other little kitty swing and she was fine. But,
Mhm.
and then I told my daughter and them about it when they came back. And yeah, my daughter was hot. She was like, what? I was like, it's been handled. Relax. We
Mhm.
talked about it. It's been handled. Like,
Right, right.
two black
Yeah.
mothers just walking down the street, like buffed up, ready to go and find this kid.
Like mess with my kid if you want to.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So I just wanted to, again, find out, like, emotionally, how do you feel about the moves as you graduate to different areas, different countries? How do you feel about making these moves and being able to feel free to do it as a single mother?
Yeah, it feels good. Like I mean, nothing's holding me back. I'm like, I can go when I want, how I want. I always have to be conscious and cognizant of my daughter and making sure there's good education because my intention is always long term, right? Is this a place where she can grow up and go to college? Because, of course, I want her still near me when she goes, if she decides to go to college, I still want her near me. So I'm always thinking about these things and like the safety and stuff like that. So, it's just a place that's kid friendly. So I feel good about it. And I really actually like this decision with Malaga, Spain. It feels good. Like I always say, Mexico will always have my heart. Like I love Mexico,
Yep.
passionately love Mexico. like, like some of those people, like I'll probably lifelong friendships. Um, but it's just not realistic for us for long term. So this, I feel like,
Okay.
yeah, I feel like this is
What do
it.
you hope that this experience for your daughter, what do you hope this gives her?
Good question. I hope she's able to get a sense of different cultures um, and just being able to understand people that are not from the US and um, just outside of our own culture where we're from. I'm hoping that she can really just, and that's what I really wanted from Mexico too, like just her being able to see, hey, we might not look alike, but we're still the same in so many ways. Because let's be real, like most of the people that she's going to grow up with is not going to look like her. So,
But she'll
yeah.
still feel welcome. You feel like she will eventually, even with that, maybe with the little girl. We're not depending on that.
Right.
Okay. But just feel welcome.
Yeah.
And you said something the other day when we were talking because you said, like, I guess they still hadn't quite made amends, and so now she's playing with some of the other, like some of the little boys or something.
Yeah, she's playing with the little boys. She's still playing with, now she's back to playing with the other little girls.
Hmm.
For one day, it was like the day after the apology,
Yeah.
they played together and she shared her lunch with my daughter. I guess
Oh,
that was
okay.
her mom told her to do that. They played together that day, but the girls aren't as close as they were before.
Yeah.
But she's now going out and playing with other kids, and she's feeling more comfortable speaking Spanish now. So
Oh.
yeah. So when I pick her up from school, I say, "Who did you play with today?" And
Oh.
it's always somebody different.
Well, that's
So
good. That's good.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a it's I know that some people have this, like, well, I can't do this because my child is there in school and they have to, and so we can't make this move because of, child is this. There's always a reason why
Mhm.
you can talk yourself out of taking on an opportunity to experience something different. And I wanted to speak to you because you recognize I have a very unique situation and I'm going to take
Mhm.
full advantage of it with my child. and we're going to
Right.
learn and grow together in
Right.
different communities. And that's amazing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And stuff.
It's been
Well,
great.
do you have anything else and stuff? I know, and I have to say this really fast because I always come with a list of like 25 questions. I'll be
Okay.
like, I want to talk about this, and I spit out. Chat GPT gives me like a whole outline of questions, so I can try to stay focused because I am a squirrel person. I'll get
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
running.
I
Yeah,
am too.
but I will say that not one time during this whole entire conversation did I look at one question. It was just such a natural flow of just
Thank
talking.
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was nervous because I was like, this is my first interview.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. You done us proud, girl.
Thank you so much. You made me feel comfortable.
And so well, I am glad. So I'm sorry. Anything else you want to add?
I do want to say that so for anybody who is thinking about like going anywhere in the world, um, if you've heard about a big city, for example, Lisbon, and that particular city is like too expensive for you, just know that if you go 15, 20 minutes outside of that city, you're going to get a whole different culture. It's going to be completely different. It's different. So definitely, and I mean, you hear this all the time, but even if you go visit a place and spend a week there, 2 weeks, a month, you might it going on vacation and living somewhere is completely different. So
Mhm.
yeah, just go on the groups and talk to people and find out. And I heard about the mole problem before I moved to Portugal. And I was like, oh, that's nothing. That's not gonna be me. I'm gonna get it. They were saying that, oh, it's only in the older homes, right? Like the really old. I had a place that was built within the last 10 years. And no, it's all over.
It's
So
all
like,
yeah.
yeah, you
One
really
more
gotta.
question. Pie management asks, how was Christmas in Spain?
Oh,
It's beautiful. I
yeah.
mean, I mean, maybe somebody that actually has lived in Zaragoza for a while is like, it's Christmas. What? Okay.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I
Here,
thoroughly enjoyed all the beauty of it. Like this weekend, they're having another big event this weekend called the Loses Lights. And so they're having some big
mhm,
light event stuff that we're going to be checking out. But Christmas, it was just absolutely beautiful, especially because Zaragoza is a walking city. So yeah, you're
mm,
walking everywhere. So you're stopping and really enjoying and beholding all the beauty of the neighborhoods, not the neighborhoods of the city itself, like, along the main tram line and all that. So what was
mhm,
what was were you already in Malaga or were you in
yeah.
for Christmas you were already in
I was
Malaga?
already here. Yeah.
Okay. And
Um,
what was that like for you?
it was nice. They decorate everywhere. Like all of the neighborhoods are already decorated. I took my daughter to the mall to see Santa, and she was like, "What language is Santa going to speak?" That's a good question. I said, "Baby, he speak whatever language you speak." So I asked the elf. I asked the little elf, "Does he speak English?" Because she not really feel comfortable. She was like, "Yeah, he speak English." I said, "Okay." So she whispered to Santa to speak English.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, I got you, girl. Come
Yeah,
on up
yeah, yeah,
here.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. And there's a whole in Malaga, there's a whole street called I should not be trying to recall the name of that street, but there's a whole street because I only went there once, but this whole street, it's a pedestrian street and they
Mhm.
decorate the whole thing and it's Christmas lights. It's really beautiful. So that was an experience. But
Malaga is a pretty much a walking area, or is it more like
it's spread
cars?
out.
I mean, it's kind of spread out.
It's spread out, yeah. That's the central area, but
Mhm.
you got to get on a bus. There's buses and there's trams and stuff like that, but
So the public transportation is wonderful.
it's really good. Yeah, it's
Okay.
really, really good. Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
used it yet, but I want to because I don't like trying to park.
Okay. Well, two things I'm just going to go ahead and mention here as we get ready to wrap this up. So, if Malaga has caught your attention and you're kind of like, ooh, I think I might want to check that out. Remember, April 13th to April 19th, having a meetup here in Spain, starting out 13th through the 16th. I'm sorry, 13th through the 15th. It's going to be in Madrid. And then the 17th through the 19th, we're going to be in Zaragoza. And then from there, you can actually bop around, maybe go to Malaga and see what's going on. Maybe go to Valencia, Barcelona, and see, kind of do your little bopping around in Spain to see if there's a particular city that's going to suit you or fit you just right. But if you're interested in coming to Spain, whether it's you want to consider moving here or you just want to get away for a little while and bop or just vacation, check out the Facebook group. The link is in the comments, Black in Zaragoza, and you will also see the event, the invitation for the event. And if you are not a Facebook person, also there's a link so you can subscribe to the emails that I send out, not too many, and you can actually sign up and RSVP that way for the spring meetup in April. Okay, spring in Spain. And if you have any other questions, make sure you like and comment, and you post your questions later on, hashtag of the replay. And anything else?
We good? No, that's it for me. That's
well,
it. If anybody wants to follow us, we have our own Instagram, me and my daughter.
Oh yes, what is it? What is it? I think I have it on there, but yeah, I'm gonna put it in the comments.
We do a little cooking channel. It's called our_compassionate_kitchen. So
darn it. So you know what? Can you send me the I know it's in the description and stuff. I was gonna put it here in the live chat though.
Okay.
And stuff, but it's a great interview. Yeah. So it's in the I can't, why my brain is like shutting off now, but yeah, it's in the description below. All the links are there. So please do check that out. And guys, thank you so very much for joining. And just a second. Yeah, y'all take care. Bye. Hold on.
Okay.